Hello, everyone, and welcome back to some more Rome 2 land battle action. We have a 2v2. I was about to say 3v3, and then I realized. Anyway, whatever. 2v2 for you here. This one's been sent in to us by Alindiasil, and as always, let us go over the players in the field of battle. Quickly go over army comps, and then we'll get right into it. So, over here, playing as Seleucid, we have Polo. And then over here, Alindiasil is playing as Armenia. And then over here, we have playing as Rome, Horatio Scipio. And Pergamon is being played by Fine Tips. So we'll start with this side, work our way around. Start with Pergamon, and Pergamon is rocking what we have as a general unit, a game of spears. Then we have two Hippeus Lancers. What do we got over here? We have 3 Tarentine Cav. What do we have as far as ranged units go? It looks like they just brought archers. Preferably, I would have brought their picked peltas. It's a pretty solid ranged unit. There we go. We have 3 picked peltas and 2 are. I think they can actually only bring 3. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Anyway, Galatian spears? Is that a thing that they can actually bring? I've never noticed that before. Galatian spears, a game of spears. I would imagine the rest is going to be a lot of a game of spears, and we have militia hoplites as well. And that's about the long and short of it for Pergamon, it looks like, right? I believe I got everybody here. And then Rome is bringing, naturally, we have General and Bodyguard. Auxiliary Cav, 2 units of that. We have any more Cav anywhere? Doesn't look like it. All right. Frontline, what do we got? Vigiles, and then we have Armored Legionaries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, 5 Armored Legionaries. 1, 2, 3 Evocati Cohort. 2 more Vigiles on the wings. What do we got here? Balearics, Vigiles, Balearics. All right, and that is it for over here. I kind of like what they got going on over here. They're stacked on top of each other. In an effort to, I would imagine, support each other well. Seleucid is rocking an interesting formation here, but who knows? It might work. We have 3 units, or no, we have, interesting, okay, Eastern Slingers, Javelin Men, and Peltas. I probably would have went with all Peltas, right? Because, yeah, Peltas are definitely a little bit better than Javelin Men. Javelin Men are a little bit better, I would imagine, as far as melee defense goes, or are they? Maybe they aren't. Yeah, no, they're basically the same. The only thing that's different is range and ammunition. Anyway, so many the best spear units in the game. So many Eastern Spearmen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Eastern Spearmen. Then we have some Thorax Swords in the back. Silver Shield Swordsmen. 3 units of Skirmisher Cav, and then Hellenic Cataphracts. And Armenia is bringing what we got here. We have some Eastern Archers, Eastern Cataphracts, Royal Cataphracts, Mercenary Cappadocian Cav. We have 1, 2, 3 Horse Archers, 3 units of Axemen. Actually, probably more than 3. And then, oh no, Cartley. Oh yeah, Cartley Axemen. Can't go wrong with these guys. Solid unit. And they get that little bit of AP penetration too. All right. So, 11 minutes, 31 seconds on the clock. Let's get it on. FYI, too, if you loaded up Rome 2 today, there was an update. CA actually updated Rome 2. And what was the update? Well, there's 2. There's 3 things that they updated. One was for to make it so that it wouldn't crash. And then the other one was about, I think, for like graphics and stuff so that it would play better. Oh, but the coolest update is that they removed the chat function. Isn't that great? Isn't that such an awesome thing that they did? Remove the way that you can talk to your teammates? Oh, man. Oh, but don't worry. Apparently they have something in the works to replace it. But they just removed that now, instead of waiting until they had the thing that was actually going to replace the chat function, and then remove the chat function, and then replace it all in one fell swoop. No. Let's take the chat function away right now so that nobody can talk to each other and communicate with their teammates unless they have Discord. And, yeah, we'll worry about the chat function later. So Thanks, CA. You're doing a bang-up job. Jeez. Anyway. Rant over. Had to get that off my chest. Tarantine Cav moving quickly and aggressively to counter the horse archers here. They might... probably not going to get any shots off. But they need to be a little careful here because they're getting dragged further and further. There you go. There you go. No? They're coming back for it? They're coming back for it? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Shots out from the horse archers, getting a couple of shots off. No kills, but they did harass somewhat. Vigilai's moving forward. But unfortunately, I mean, they're just putting themselves in a bad situation as well. I mean, the Balearic Slingers, of course, are moving forward as well. They'll be able to fire at these guys and definitely do some serious damage to the horse archers, as they don't have the greatest of... They only have 10. So Armenia is now getting pushed back. Pergamon is splitting up in two different directions. The majority of his forces are heading off in this direction, probably to deal with Armenia as much as possible. Seleucid has moved very aggressively forward and then flanked about as well. Skirmisher Cav is coming back wide around. I imagine they're going to come way around over here. Most likely to harass these units over here. Javelin men have moved very, very close. They are taking fire, but they will most likely be out of their ammo before they can rout. You got to keep in mind they don't have a lot of ammunition to begin with. However, they are now falling back, and yeah, they're out of ammunition. I probably would have just set them in. Because they're, I mean, having them fall back and then, yeah, just send them in. They don't have any armor. Send them in. Maybe they'll get a kill or two. You know, just let them get in there. Armenia is now shifting back over to assist. They're closing this gap over here. And honestly, this, as he shifts back over to his Seleucid ally, not necessarily a bad idea, because the majority of Rome and Pergamon, at least their infantry units, are way over here, leaving a lot of these forces kind of by themselves. Wow, look at this. Picpeltus moving forward. Are they out of ammo already? No, they aren't. Did he just send them into combat? Fool. I would imagine that they'll do all right against the Eastern Spearmen, as we all know, even though the Eastern Spearmen are the best spear units in the game. For some reason, they're not balanced properly, so they end up losing pretty quickly. But here we go. Nice little flanking charge from the Pais Lancers. Nice little debate there from Pergamon, catching the Eastern Spearmen off guard. And look, they are a trash unit, that is for sure, but they have a bonus of 20 against large units. So they got that charge off, but if he had left them in there for too long, then it might have gone the other way around. Pergamon now moving aggressively forward with his Agama Spears. This is only going to lead to disaster, honestly, as the Thorax Swords move in aggressively to counter this charge. Eastern Spearmen have tied down the Agama Spear, or the Galatian Spears, rather, but the Agama Spears continue to move forward into enemy territory, and they're just going to get absolutely hammered once they reach a certain point, and Seleucid's going to either turn about, or this is what's going to happen. They're going to turn around, and they're going to start to get shot in the back. Eastern Spearmen here starting to rout, that's no surprise, and Pergamon is now moving his army back over to the other end of the battlefield. These guys are going to be exhausted by the time that they get anywhere, which of course is going to make them less effective in combat overall. The Game of Spears have turned their backs and are now throwing into the rear of the Eastern Spearmen and Thorax Swords. However, they're not being careful enough. These Eastern Spearmen right here, they're absolutely going to get a charge off, and of course they're getting peppered pretty well and good in the rear by the the Skirmisher Cav. However, they have now been plopped into square formation, so the Eastern Spearmen are going to have a much more difficult time getting any type of shots in on them. Pais Lancers breaking through the Eastern Spearmen here. Now they're going to go right after the Skirmisher Cav again, though. You got to be careful. These guys definitely have some decent armor. 15, it's not great, it's not terrible. But 3 Skirmisher Cav against 1 Pais Lancer. Ooh, the Pais Lancer is not going to hold out very long. Their melee defense is awful. Armor's pretty well and good, for sure, but melee defense isn't any good. So if you can't defend what's coming at you, you're just going to hear ding, ding, ding against your head until you're knocked unconscious and then stabbed in the throat. So anyway, what else is going on here? Finally, we have some engagement going on with Armenia and Rome. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units going to chase after these horse archers. Wild. great use of units. Partly Axeman getting into it with the Avocado cohort. Definitely a dangerous unit to get into it with, but don't forget, Partly Axemen, they have axes. Axes provide a nice little bit of armor penetration damage, so they're going to be, well, combat's even at the moment. I think the Partly Axemen will do all right. 106 to 101. I think they'll do okay. They're definitely going to end up taking some casualties here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's starting to shift. But yeah, I don't think that they're going to last super duper long. Meanwhile, here, look at this. Looks like Pergamon might have forgotten about these units that are over here, getting super distracted by what's going on over here. We have some of the Vigilets here routing from the Thorax Swords. Skirmisher Cavs doing a hell of a job. Archers are starting to rout. Militia Hoplites are in the thick of it. They're going to do some damage against these Skirmisher Cavs, so hopefully you can get them out of here soon. Thorax or Silver Shield Swordsman, oof, down to 76. This is why I tend not to take Silver Shield Swordsman. I don't think they are. Let's just compare real quick. I know I'm putting in slow-mo. I'm sorry. I need to find a Thorax Sword. Thorax Sword, where are you? Here we go. 38, 34 melee attack weapon damage. 69. Oh, they're buffed a little bit. That's okay, though. Where's one that's not buffed? 57 and 75 for melee defense and armor. Thorax, or Silver Shields. 57 and 80 for melee defense and armor. So it's 57 and 75. And then 43 and 40. And that's 38 and 34. So really, you're just getting a bump in melee attack and weapon damage. Small bump in armor and health. So really, you could just get Thorax Swordsmen, and if you want to, dump some chevrons into them to make them a little bit tankier, and that you'd be getting the same effect, in my opinion. But anyway, Silver Shields over here, 35 kills, going to turn to meet these Game of Spears. General here, Helena Cataphracts taking on the Auxiliary Cab. They should be winning this here, but the General from Rome is going to pile on, and that might swing it in a different direction here. It looks like the Auxiliary Cav is also trying to dogpile on Rabbit while some Game of Spears are also rushing in, I would imagine, to come over here. But it looks like they're actually going to turn away, possibly go after something else. Meanwhile, Armenia's doing all right over here. We got two more Axemen over here. Avocado cohorts finally starting to break. 58 kills, only 25 for this Axeman unit. Where's the Cartly Axeman over here? Did a pretty good job. 42 kills, managed to bust these guys down to 56 and getting tongue-tied here. 100 kills so far for this Avocado cohort, but pretty much they're out of commission. I mean, one good cav charge from probably anything and they're going to be gone. We still have 4 units of Rome here wandering around, trying to chase after, it seems like, this cav. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that Rome might be a new player, especially based on the fact that he chose Rome for a land battle. Not necessarily a bad thing, but again, I feel like Rome and Sparta are the two that I feel like newer players, the Rome and Sparta, we got to play as them because they're the best. Because there's that movie 300 and Gladiator. Let's play as Rome or Sparta. And then they don't know how to play as Rome and Sparta. Not to say that there's like nuance to Rome, but there's definitely a certain way that you have to play them, I feel. And they excel in certain ways. And it can absolutely 100% be overpowered, especially in the right hands, but in the wrong hands, you're just going to get your butt whooped. Avocado cohort here, just kind of hanging out, not really doing much of anything. You can definitely tell that Rome player is distracted by something. Probably this right over here. He's just desperately trying to chase down the Cav. Armenia's general up to 63 kills, down to 43 men. Seleucid's general, 80 kills, down to 21. Better be careful, he's going to lose some more collateral damage coming in here from the archers, but that's okay. Now it looks like they're going to get some charges off on the Armored Legionaries here. Partly Axemen over here having a hell of a time against the Armored Legionaries. That's no surprise to me, as their melee defense is 53 compared to... Oh, they have 53 as well. But they're chevroned up, so that's why it's 53. But yeah, I mean, the Partly Axemen are just a really solid infantry unit that... They're not, like, super awesome, but they're not super terrible either. I don't know. I guess I'll equate them to Galatian Legionaries. That might be a controversial take, because I know Galatian Legionaries are very good but they're also, I feel like, a very middle-of-the-road unit. I mean, their melee attack, weapon damage, melee defense, and armor are just, it's all kind of middle of the road. It's not on the high end, it's not on the low end, so they can just sort of, you know, they do well against anything. They're all-rounders. That's really what I call Galatian Legionaries, is all-rounders. They can deal with any type of situation. Especially if you chevron them up a little bit. Vigale's moving in fast and aggressive against these Eastern Archers here, who have done a pretty good job for a land battle, actually. 74, and what do we have here? 65. How about these guys? 38, 65. So they definitely have some ammo left. But it looks like they're going to push right on through, actually. No, it looks like they... I'll take that back. They're pulling back. Lots going on, and then... That's it? And then that's it. What happened here? What happened? Did they concede? They must have conceded, right? Because they still had stuff going, and we weren't seeing mass wavering from one side or the other. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at what happened. Okay. I even if they conceded, we still should have seen, right? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Hello? Load campaign. Look how many. Look. So many campaign. I need to delete some of this stuff. I definitely need to delete some of this stuff. My God. All right. Well, I guess that's going to be it for me today. I did not expect the abrupt end. Actually, real quick, let's... Where are we here? Who was it? Pergamon, right? Do they get Galatian spears? Oh, they do. How about that? Okay. Also, does this look small, doesn't it? I might have to fix the resolution. All right. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, as short as it was. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Oh, well. We'll have another video tomorrow. I know that this week's been kind of wonky as far as video releases. I was very busy this past week, fortunately, so I wasn't able to get videos out in time. But there will be one tomorrow, promise. And then, of course, next week, we're back to KOTOR and Valyrian Empire. So, with that being said, have a great day, morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of day it is, wherever you are while you're watching. Just have a good one. Peace out, guys.